Welcome to Paprika Southern's Guide to Taking Better Photos with Your Phone. We're going to be sharing a few simple tips that will help you up your at-home photography game this holiday season and all year long. First, let's talk about maximizing some of the features that are built into your phone's camera. For this demo, I'll be using an iPhone X, but most smartphone models will have similar features. You can change the exposure on your photo before you even take it. Open your camera app, tap the screen, and then slide your finger up and down the screen to either brighten or darken the exposure. We also always recommend keeping your flash turned off if possible. One of the really fun features on more recent iPhones is Portrait Mode. Portrait Mode mimics the depth of field effect professional photographers use to blur out backgrounds and bring more attention to the subject. To use this feature, enter Portrait Mode on your camera. You can experiment with the different lighting effects, but natural light will usually give you the surprise, most natural lighting look. Tap the F icon at the top of the screen and use the slider that appears at the bottom of the screen to adjust. This is called Aperture, and as you slide to larger apertures like 1.4, you'll see the blurring effect increase. As you slide the opposite way to smaller apertures like 16, you'll see the effect lessen as the background comes into sharper focus. And yes, we do know that 1.4 is a smaller number while 16 is a larger number. It's reversed when you're talking about apertures. It's just a photography thing. Because the phone uses software to create this effect rather than optics like a professional lens would, you can also change the aperture after the photo has been taken. Enter Edit Mode and tap the aperture icon at the top of the screen. If you didn't change the aperture when you shot the picture, the default will probably be 4.5, and that's what you'll see. You can use the slider to again adjust the blurring effect. Using the self-timer feature on your camera phone is a great way to improve your selfie game or take a posed family portrait. For a selfie, enter self-timer mode and use the 3-second option to give yourself a few extra seconds to make sure everything is just the way you want it. This will also help you hold the camera more steady when the shot is actually taken. You can definitely use the 10-second option here too, but you may find you just don't need that much time. If you're setting up a family portrait, we suggest either propping the phone somewhere secure or using a tripod. Frame up the shot with the whole family, leaving a spot for the photographer, and use the 10-second option to get into place. The phone will flash to let you know when it's taking the picture. Now that you know how to use some of the iPhone camera's features, let's talk about some common lighting mistakes. Clear, even light is the easiest to work with, and that's what we suggest looking for. Backlighting is placing your subject in front of a light source, and it's usually not great. Dappled light is spotty lighting, like if you're under a leafy tree on a sunny day. It's not impossible to work with, but it is a little harder to control. Look for bright, even, natural light like open shade. This is going to be the easiest to work with, and avoid shooting in direct sun at midday when the light is harshest. Let's talk about backgrounds. Try to simplify your background. If you're shooting a family photo outside at a park, try to find a background that doesn't have a lot of people or cars cluttering it up. If you're photographing a holiday craft, place it on a surface or fill the frame with the background. If you're shooting a festive selfie, look for a neutral background free of distractions. In general, your background shouldn't distract or overwhelm from the subject of the photograph, but should enhance and support it. That's why we recommend searching out backgrounds that are neutral and not too contrasty. Thanks for watching. We hope you have a great time making and recording your memories this holiday season. For more inspiration for creative and intentional living, tune into our podcast, PS, the Paprika Southern Podcast. You can also find us on the web at paprikasouthern.com and on Instagram at Paprika Southern. Happy holidays!